and welcome to another edition of Sit in the Ass with the Brass. I'm Adam Brass. This is my 5 Minutes of Fury, and today's topic, come on, it's January, you heard the lead-in song, it's the Royal Rumble, and we're going to talk about my opinion for the greatest Royal Rumble match of all time. We'll do a quick countdown of my top 5. If you get a chance this month, get on the network, watch some of these matches. They're definitely worth it. Number 5 was the 1999 Royal Rumble. That was the Attitude Era encapsulated in one match. Then you have yourself the 2001 Royal Rumble. That top talent from that time period, all involved in that match. We would never see them again all together like that because they'd all start taking those separate roads. My third favorite, the 2008 Royal Rumble. Huge John Cena return. And then in the number 2 spot there, I got the 2006 Royal Rumble. That's everything you could want, such an underdog story and an ending that I think most people didn't see coming. And then my number 1 Royal Rumble match of all time, the 1992 Royal Rumble. I loved it as a kid, I loved it as I grew up, and even when I look back now, it set the standard and created a foundation for which all Royal Rumble matches should be done. From the opening music to the Vince McMahon, it's time to rumble! That is the Royal Rumble, and it had everything you could want. It had an overall story. It was the first of its time where there was a vacated title, and so now 30 guys all have an opportunity to be the champion. And not only was it like an all-star of WWE Superstar, it was at its time like an all-star of professional wrestling. It seemed like everyone just happened to be at the crossroads in the WWE at the same time from all the different territories and were used for this match. And you had all these top guys like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Ric Flair, and you had your upcomers like The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, your established vets like Roddy Piper and Jake Roberts. It really was the best of the best, the who is who, and they were all there, and they laid out the match wonderfully, and it was so good. And one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite spots is, to me, the triple threat. And I say that because we had never had a triple threat match at WWE at that time. And when you look back, it really was the first taste of a triple threat. And these 3 guys did it wonderfully. And to where you look back and go, that's how it's done. They only had a couple minutes in there together, the 3 of them, but they did it. And it was Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Jake the Snake Roberts. And what better 3 guys, right? And the way those 3 just kind of mingled and danced between the 3 of them, it's still my favorite spot in the whole Royal Rumble match. And then, of course, you can't see the ending coming. So many people say, of course, Ric Flair was going to win. No. When you look back at how Vince McMahon laid things out, he didn't put belts on heels. That's not how the WWE worked, and that's not how the territory worked. Almost in the last 20 years up to that point, heels had held that title a total of like 5 weeks. Okay? Heels didn't hold the world title in WWE. So yes, I think it was kind of a blindside that it would be Ric Flair who had just jumped over. And then, of course, what really makes this thing sparkle and makes it stand out from all the others, in the finishing touch, is the commentary. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. Bobby Heenan's still the manager of Ric Flair, so he's calling it so one-sided, more one-sided than he's ever called a match. He's gasping for air, he's demanding water, he's doing all these wonderfully over-the-top remarks. He's just the number 1 cheerleader for Ric Flair, and of course Gorilla Monsoon being irritated by it, but also egging him on and throwing comments out there to upset him, and it was just, it was so good. If what in front of you wasn't already good enough, to have that audio. So if you get a chance to watch it, make sure you don't do it with distractions. Listen to that commentary at the same time because it just totally wraps it. And then what really puts the cherry on top is the post-match interview with Ric Flair, the victory speech he gives after he wins it. We don't get to see this anymore. They don't do this anymore. We're always cutting off to Pyro on who's going to WrestleMania, but Ric Flair giving his victory speech, winning the WWE Championship, doing what he told everyone he was going to do, even when we all doubted him because we had our stars in there like Hulk Hogan. He cemented the night with that interview. So if you get a chance, go back, watch this match. You will enjoy it. If you've never watched it before, I promise you, you will enjoy it. If you've watched it and haven't seen it in a while, you will love it again. And if you watch it all the time like I do, I try to watch it once a year, it just doesn't get any better than that. So thank you for spending this 5 Minutes of Fury with me, Adam Brass.